Wow, that was crazy. Okay, I think it should be good. Yeah, I don't know. This XSplit thing kind of irritates me sometimes. Yeah, my computer just completely like shut down and said, "Oh my God, something's wrong," and like scanned my whole system and then restarted it and blah blah blah. Anyways, I'm glad somebody's looking out for me. Anywho, oh, you know what would be really good? No, it's plugged in. I was gonna say it'd be really great if I plugged in my camera. Which it was. Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know why it's not there, guys. Huh.
What's the money on this, David?
Can you guys see anything? Because I can't see anything. Wait a second.
Just one?
Oh. Just a second. Let's see if that works. Sorry guys, but my computer crashed, kind of, and yeah, so you probably can only see like a little square, right? Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's doing that. It basically like reset this program to its like default settings when my computer restarted, and so now it's like, oh, now there's probably two, right? Oh my God, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't understand why it's doing that. Wait, there. Is that better? That might be better. Okay, hang on, guys. Ah, it's so frustrating. Okay, so it's better. So you can hear me and you can see like the whole screen. Oh my God. This has been a long day today already. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Okay, let me snap out the chat real quick. Or pop out the chat, or whatever the hell I'm supposed to say. Okay. Aww. Okay, hi everybody. Oh my god. That was terrible. Seriously, it was like, yes, Laura. I definitely need help. I definitely need help. I need all the help I can get. Laura, Brenda, Anne, Patricia. I don't know who else is here. I haven't been paying attention, but I appreciate it. So, yeah, so I kind of flaked out Wednesday. I felt really bad about it. But, what are you going to do? You know? So, oh, my bracelet? Excuse me, you guys saw this bracelet a million times. See it? It's that one. See, it has beads on it. Man, I cannot wait until we can open the pool. And then I can live stream poolside. Will that be fun? Yeah, so I knew I was forgetting something on Wednesday. I just knew it. And then I was like, why is Brenda and Carla and Laura and everybody asking me if I'm okay? And then at like 20 after 4, at 4:20, I was like, oh crap. Anyway, good looking out, you guys. So Laura has agreed to send me a reminder message. I should actually set it up already, but I thought it would be better if a human did it. Anyway, hi Paula. So let's see. A whole bunch of stuff I've been kind of working on, and so I kind of stopped doing like a gift, like a free gift with all my orders. All my journal orders, and I was feeling kind of guilty about that, and so I was sort of trying to put together some pockets from book pages. The What's her name, Viramontes, what's it, Patricia Viramontes? Hi Virginia. Is that her name? Viramontes? The girl that does all the pockets from book pages. I'm sure that's not her first name. Anywho, so I was watching a bunch of her videos, trying to get inspiration to use some book pages. Is that her name, Anne? Okay. Right. All right, cool. Anyway, so I don't know what it is, but I have such a hard time making those. I don't know. It was just like a failure. It was a complete failure. Anyway, but as I was looking for book pages, I ran across all of these little they were these little like singer pamphlets, okay? Like how to make belts. They were just these little pamphlets. They were all spiral bound. And so I had disassembled them. I picked them up at a thrift store. I think it was at that junk shop up north. Anyways, so I was kind of looking at these, and I thought these would be really cute, like to use for like little pamphlets that I could stitch together, And so, because I've been, collecting a bunch of like sewing ephemera and that kind of stuff, vintage sewing crap. And excuse me. Patterns and just stuff like that. Books about sewing, books about quilting, blah blah blah. Anyways, So I thought, well, these would be cute to just, make up just to stick in journals and, as like in a pocket or whatever. But then I thought, no, you know what? I think they would be really cute to use as like a free gift with purchase. So these are not finished, okay? Like this is just, kind of the beginning. So basically, the cover's kind of brittle. When I folded it in half, it was a little bit brittle. So I, glued a piece of fabric. This is a sheet that I got from my mom that I just like love it. I love the flowers on it. Anyways, I coffee dyed it, by the way. So I just glued a piece of fabric on there, and then I actually stitched all of the signatures in on the sewing machine. So they're sewn in on the fabric. So, I mean, it's just a little tiny junk journal type of thing. So a little pamphlet. So it doesn't necessarily need to be that sturdy, but I definitely didn't want them falling apart. Anyway, so, oh, and then I did like just a little like tuck spot pocket on the front and back. And then I put like a glassine bag or envelope, excuse me, in each one, like a large one that's folded in half. So anyway, I know, I think the imagery is really cute on these. So I think I wound up with like 19 of them. So, and oh my God, look at this little, well, no, you can't see it now. I covered it up. Oh, there it is. Look at that little tiny sewing machine. Look at that. Like if anybody has one of those, I'll give you $1 million for it. Seriously. Look at that little like that little girl's seriously professional sewing machine. Isn't that cool? I've never seen one of those. I mean, I've never looked for one, but now I am. Anywho, I want one of those super bad. I'll bet it's a good machine. Yeah, just a few, huh, Laura? Anyway, so yeah, I think that the imagery is really cool on them. And so any from now until these run out, and I'm going to add tags and, note cards and maybe a paperclip embellishment, embellish like paperclip thing, or maybe a cluster on the front or something. I'll do them up, so they'll be cute, okay? So one of these with any journal purchase until they are gone. And just want to let you guys know that I do have 2 promotions in my shop right now for the month of April. And it's not an April Fool's. It's like for real. Free shipping, domestic shipping, standard. Okay, not if priority winds up being cheaper, then I'll do it priority. But if it's not, then it'll be first class. But even still, it's you still get a tracking number with first class through Etsy, so that's cool. But any $50 purchase, free shipping in the U.S. Okay. And then also I'm doing 20% off a $100 purchase worldwide. Okay. So you could actually save quite a bit of money. Like, if you decided to, check out my shop and, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, plus you get a free little mini journal with any journal purchase. And I have a whole bunch of other journals that I'm going to list today. I'm just going to show them to you because, because I am. And I have a couple other things that I wanted to show you guys that were pretty cool that I picked up, and something my mom gave me that I thought was really neat. So I have a few minis that I finished. So rather than making a separate video on these, I thought I'd just show them to you guys. So these are all the little A6 size traveler's notebooks that I had made up and had not finished. So I finished them. I love this one with the little girl. And most of them have like the hitch post closure. And they're all pretty packed full of goodies, and each one, I'll have 10 photographs of each one in each listing, and they'll all be listed individually. So, hi Regina, and anybody else that I'm missing. Hello. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I missed you. I'm really happy that you're here. Um, so yeah, I didn't count these. I think there's like 1, 2, 3, 7, 7 new little minis that I'm gonna have listed by the end of today. I would say I'll work on it this evening. So each one of these has like some ephemera, like some like genuine ephemera like stitched onto the cover and that kind of stuff. So hi Cynthia. And lots of ephemera, throughout each one. I was thinking about this. When we talk about vintage ephemera, that can be like so many different eras, right? And I generally don't pay attention too much to which era I'm like representing in each journal, you know what I mean? But I think I'm going to start trying to do that, because I think, having vintage ephemera from the 1880s in the same book with something from the 1940s is, it's, well, I guess it's okay, it's fine. I guess what I'm saying is that I'm going to try to do some more like era, stick to a certain era on some of my journals. Okay. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. This one's a little bit different. It just has the like wraparound twine closure. So anyway, so there's those, and then there's just one of these little paper bag or envelope ones that it's like I think I list them as the chubby minis. So, and I think I'm gonna make up some more of these. And then I do have one like larger journal that I'm gonna I'll probably do a flip through video on this one. And to show this one, but this one will also be listed hopefully by the end of today. If not, it'll be tomorrow. So okay, so this one's pretty fat. It's packed full of stuff, and I did like a whole little charm dangly clustery thing on there. So, and this is one of those journals that I did the beeswax on the spine. So what are you talking about? Oh, you have one of those? Yeah, you have one of these, huh, Brenda? Yes, you do. Okay, let me get rid of these, and then just a couple other things I want to show you guys that are super cute. And then I want to just, I really need to make journals. So, I thought, if that's okay with you guys, let's make some journals. Let's work on some signatures and stuff. Get some production, you know? Okay, 1 second. All right. Stay. Like piling up stuff. All right. So, oh, that's right, Regina, you do, huh? You have one of those little chunky minis, huh? Yeah. So, I got this ledger off of eBay, and I just thought it was just like the coolest thing, just like the neatest thing since sliced bread. I can't figure if it can't tell if it was from an attorney or an attorney's office or a doctor's office, but I think it was an attorney based on some of the cards that are filled out, or like either insurance or something. But anyways, look at that. Isn't that just yummy? Is that the coolest ledger? I mean, come on. Isn't that neat? And look at it, just this comes off, that comes off, and the pages just lift out. And most of it is blank, okay? I mean, 99% of it is unused. But it still has all of the dividers. And some of them, there's, some information filled out. Yeah, isn't it a neat size, Virginia? I know, I just love it. I love it. The seller didn't realize that there was some pages that were used. But that's okay. I love the used pages. I wish there were more used pages in here. So, anyway, there's not that many, but there's some. And look at that. Isn't it cool? It's so pretty. I just love it. I love how this paper has aged naturally. This heavy like cardstock paper. So, but most of these look kind of almost like insurance payments and stuff. So, yeah, some of it's typed. Yeah, some of it is Kathy. Hi, Kathy. So, and then they got lazy and started just writing it out. But looky. Look at it. But yeah, then most of the rest of it, this is all blank. All the rest of that. So look at how much is in there. There's tons. Just tons of it. I'm hoarding it. It's in the 30s. Most of these, let's see, what are the entries? 1939. Yeah, taken are June 16th, 1939, Miss Elizabeth Belansky, 9 Water Street at East Hampton, to Warren L. Mackenzie, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. So, receipts. So, yes. I paid $20 for that ledger, you guys. So, I mean, and then $10 for shipping. So, yeah, I dropped $30 on it, but it was worth it, I think. Anywho, so then my mom came home she was supposed to just be at the doctor's, and somehow she got sidetracked, went to a thrift store. We have this thrift store here in Spokane. I know, I think $20 is a steal too. I honestly do. I was feeling a little bit richer that day too, so, excuse me. Anyways, so we have this, it's like a antique mall type of store. It's called Tossed and Found, here in Spokane. And so my mom really likes that place. I've never been in there, and I really need to go in there. But, so she picked me up a couple of magazines that she thought I might like. And so this one is, I thought it said 1948, October 1948. But it has just a lot of entertainment, like ephemera. Some really cool old pictures and stuff. Yeah, and I'm just kind of, flipping through it quick, but lots of really cool advertising and stuff in here. It's somewhat brittle, and it's kind of like gotten wet at some point, so it's a little bit warped and sticky at the spine. That's okay. Look at Kickerinos. Anyways, so I thought this was a really cool magazine. Some neat advertising in the back too. High Pop Popcorn. So, the complete portable Smith Corona portable typewriters. I need a manual typewriter really bad. Like, I just want a manual typewriter super, super, super bad. And I thought this was really kind of fitting for, the weekend, being Easter and all. Look at this Ladies' Home Journal from 1949. Isn't that the cutest thing? And she didn't even realize that it was like an Easter issue when she bought it. And she just got it like on Thursday. So, isn't that cute? I just love it. And look at how thick it is. It's yummy. But this just has the neatest advertising. just, anyways, she paid $2.50 for this magazine. And they said they had three. She told me that they had 3 more of them. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm going to go get the other 3 if they're still there. If it's meant to be, then I shall have them. You'll be happier with a Hoover. Yeah, I know, Virginia. They're crazy expensive. Stars of the future. Anyway, I just love old advertising. I just think it's so awesome. Stop being a shoe dangler. Oh man. And just the color in this advertising is so awesome. You know. Oh, I don't know, Kathy, if it would be impossible. I've seen them. But I mean, eBay is actually, and Amazon are actually pretty good resources for ribbons. I would never buy a typewriter unless I could get a ribbon for it, you know, so I would definitely research it, but I really want a manual typewriter. And of course, if I did find ribbons, I would buy a bunch. I don't know if you can re-ink a typewriter ribbon or not. I'm sure you probably could somehow, you know, somehow. Anyway, so I love this magazine though. You do, Regina? Yeah, see, I don't see why you couldn't. Pan-fried bananas. Try these with meat. Look at that. Isn't that rad? Isn't that rad? Oh my God, I just love it. I don't know. I might not even tear up this magazine, you guys. I might just keep it forever and ever. Just to look at it. Thanks, Brenda. I appreciate that. And I love these ovens. Like, I had an apartment that had a double oven like that one time. It was really cool. Old school. Look at Jimmy's pink cheeks. Yeah. Just food looked different back then, you know what I mean? It just looked different in advertisements. Anyway. Most of this magazine is advertising, right? As they are nowadays. So, happy Easter, everybody. Yes. Hi, Dottie. I'm glad you guys, you know, came to visit on Easter and all. You know, makes me happy. I honestly didn't know if anybody would even come, being a holiday and all. But yeah, so those made me pretty happy. And especially this ledger. Dottie, did you see my ledger? Let me just show Dottie real quick so you can see it. It's just this old ledger I got off of eBay. I think it was in like an insurance office. And look at it's got a few pages that are filled out. And all the dividers and stuff are in here. It's all intact. And then tons of usable ledger like paper. You know, there must be 500 sheets here. I'll bet you it is 500, something like that. So, but yeah. So look at how many pages it is. So cool. Anyway, and it's such an interesting shape, you know, the size of the pages and stuff. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to show it to you, Dottie. So I'm going to work on putting together some journals, you guys. I've got all of these covers that I had made that need signatures. What camera phone do you stream with? I use a Logitech something or other HD Pro webcam. Why? Somebody gonna complain about it again? Because, I mean, you know, I'm just saying, it is what it is. Anyway, so there's a whole bunch of other, like, pamphlet covers that I want to make into journals, but I don't think I'm going to do that today. I've just kind of had these sitting here, and I really need to try to fill them up. Oh, okay. Good, Scotty. Thanks, because I've had a lot of criticism lately about my camera. So I'm just saying, I'm not able to zoom in. Right, I know, huh, Brenda? I'm not able to zoom in on the XSplit software because I haven't purchased the like full version of it. I can when I'm making a video, okay? Like, because then I'm just using the software that came with my camera. But if I want to be able to, and the reason I use XSplit is because it was absolutely the most simple, like, broadcaster I could find, okay? I'm sure there's others, but you know what? They all have their limitations unless you decide to buy the full version. You know what I mean? Yeah, we do. That's true, Scotty. Yeah, so anyways, that's why I can't zoom in when I'm live streaming, okay? And I try to like hold things up or whatever, and I have my camera like as low as I possibly can, and you guys can still actually like see part of my desk and I don't hit my head on it. You know what I mean? I have it mounted like on a piece of wood that's stuck onto the ceiling. So anyway, I think I'm changing my mind about those. I think I'm gonna try to just, figure out signatures for these guys, okay? And I had shown these before, but, so they're all just like these pamphlets that I gutted and stitched a piece of fabric along with probably another, like, I used some just children's, construction paper in between the layer of fabric and the cover, just to kind of give it a little bit more weight and to protect the paper on the cover a little bit. Just, I don't know, it just seemed like it was a little bit softer and a little bit cushionier, cushier or something with that extra layer of kind of fluffy paper in there. So they all feel really cool too. They're all like real soft and yeah, kind of fluffy, Anyway, so these are all stitched on. A couple of insurance premium booklets. These are larger than the other ones that I had made before. A little bit larger. So, and they're just all kind of random things, just, these are like some tools, and this is a little cookbook, some military type of thing, self-explanatory. This is like some kind of report from like the FBI or something. Shuffleboard, how to shuffleboard. This one's kind of patchworked. This was like a budget thing, and I wound up with some pockets. So people seem to like these type of journals. So I thought, I'm just gonna try to finish those all up, and So I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna grab my tray that has like signature stuff in it. Pizza smells good, Sebastian.
Oh yeah.
All right. So in this case, I wish I could zoom out because this is kind of what I'm working with. This is one of those, it's for Christmas ornaments, this tray. Like it has those, has like dividers right here, you know. It had, you know, for putting ornaments in. So there's like these little slots and you could get like these little dividers that would keep your ornaments safe. But it works really well for keeping paper organized. So I got these at, I got 2 of them. I got them at Target last year on clearance. So I paid like $5 for them, but I really like them. Anyway, so what I do is I just kind of set it, I'll just set it down here like on my little trash can. So I kind of have stuff organized by size and like type, okay? So this is like book paper that I feel like will fit into these journals. In general, okay? I feel like I kind of have 2 different groups here. I've got like the large and small, you know? So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to split this up and I'm going to start making a pile of large and small stuff that I want to use in journals. Obviously, I'm going to have a much larger pile over here because I've got like 10 journals over here. So I'm going to just be going through paper quite a bit right now. And then, you know, so I'll go through book pages and, you know, figure out what I want to use. And then I will move on to like ephemera and then like coffee dyed paper, other types of papers, and like pockets and things like that. Organize. You want me to come organize your space? You know what? I'm constantly organizing, you guys. Constantly. That's why I missed the live stream on Wednesday. Because I was reorganizing. But I would. I mean, if you want to buy me a ticket and stuff. You know what, Scotty? I am too, honestly. I'm old enough to recognize some of them too. I mean, I read in grade school the Dick and Jane books. You know, I remember those from grade school. I don't know how old you are, but you might remember some other ones that I've never seen. I don't know. This is what happens. I just wind up just with a bunch of crap on my desk that I want to use, and then I kind of weed it out. I love this Braille paper, but it's so thick. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's hard to work with, kind of. I don't want to wind up with too much book paper in these. And I don't want them to wind up being too thick either. Yeah, I have lots and lots of book paper. Like we all do, you know. I know we all do. So, all right. So that I think is a good start. You'll be 60 this year? Right on, Scotty. I'll be 50 in a year and a half. So, Yes, she is so young, and she's funny as hell too, just saying. I think you have to get to a certain age before your like actual sense of humor kicks in. Oh, that's interesting to know that, Scotty. I wondered about that, but also just the to get the braille like bumps to like stay, right? When they're making the book, it seems like they would have to make the paper a little bit heavier and thicker just to like make them very like obvious, like you couldn't actually do this in a softer type of paper. This was a lady's home journal, this book, this braille book. And it's gigantic. Like the whole thing it's huge. It's like that thick. So yeah, I wanted some braille paper. I got it. But anyways, I don't know if I'm going to use that or not. So this is just like some patterns that I had. So I think those are going to go in the small pile because those can kind of get folded into like pocket pages. Oh my God, Sebastian bought pizza and I can totally smell it. So it seems like pretty much, oh wait, this is a whole bunch of coffee dyed paper. This is just plain coffee dyed paper. Okay, that's going in the small pile. Small pile. All this stuff, this is all just coffee dyed paper, small pile. Book pages these will definitely work. These are some really small pockets. I try to, make a pile of paper that I'm going to wind up making pockets out of sort of separate. No, you're not late, Amber. Okay. Okay, Dottie. I understand. I know, I do that all the time when I'm watching live stream. I'm never, like, completely into the chat either. I'm never, like, really reading much in the chat. I'm usually just, working away. But I have gotten myself into the habit of whenever I hear a new video come on, I'll go and like it real quick. I'll give it a thumbs up. So, and Laura, yeah, thanks. I'm starving right now, and you're talking about mango chicken. No, I'm not really starving, you guys, but it does kind of make me hungry. So this is from an old, like, hymnal. These I'm going to put in the large pile. So I don't really want to fold those up and make them into pocket pages. So a lot of these, are like the full page intact. So I'll, run a strip of washi tape up the center of these. All this sheet music. I think that's going to wind up in the small pile. I really don't like using book pages sideways like this, except for in like a really small mini. But, I will. Just to kind of use it up, This is going in the large pile, small pile. I know, this is boring, huh, you guys? This must be somewhat boring. These are like pages from some of those law books that I have. And I just love the way that the paper has discolored and stuff. So I'm getting quite a stack of book paper over there. Let's see. Okay. These are all from pamphlets. So those are oriented, how I want. Those are awesome book pages. Come on. Okay. I try not to what are you talking about, Scotty? I try not to use too much advertising or ephemera that is like cigarette or alcohol related in my journals. Just because, it doesn't necessarily turn me off or anything. I just, I don't want to turn anybody else off. So a lot of times I won't use those. Just so I'm not taking any chances. But, if you're making it for yourself, obviously, it doesn't matter. But, I'm trying to please all of the people all of the time, right? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. I don't honestly, talk about doing this for me and making these journals for me, for what makes me happy. And for the most part, I do. But, I'm also making these books to earn a living. So, I have to keep that in mind. And so I kind of reserve my own like personal expression or whatever for certain aspects of the journals, like making the clusters and that kind of stuff. So, but I try to be sensitive to, content and that kind of stuff. These are some book pages from an old Mother Goose book that I'm going to include in the large pile. And this is some heavier book paper that I want to use in the small journals. And these are all intact, so those are going to get used. These ones that are folded in half, this is a lot of florals and stuff. I'm going to save these for another book. These are some of the pages from one of those. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in that pile, as are those. So a lot of the pages from those pamphlets are actually in here. Yeah, these are awesome because I know they're going to fit, right? Yeah, a lot of these ones that are folded in half, I'm just not into using them. Some of them I'm going to put over here in the large pile because I really like the weight of the paper. And I like the subject matter. This is like some kind of pamphlet. Those are going in the large pile. This is like some kind of catalog. This needs some washi, but I think it's in good shape. Oh, did you see that, Scotty? I didn't even notice. I was like, wow, she's just, singing. Some coloring book pages. These are just some, pattern covers that I kind of stitched around, and I don't know if I want to use those in these or not. Okay. So this is some pattern paper that is coffee dyed. It's all pretty heavy paper. It's all like cardstock weight. For the most part, I'm going to say it's going to go in the small pile. And then, okay, 1 second. This is like super heavy cardstock. I don't really like it. This is an old map that I cut apart. Some handwritten letters that I think would be really used. So, you know, the stuff that I'm looking through right now, I'm sure you've figured out is, you know, stuff that I put in this tray, thinking that I could use it for journals, right? It was already kind of like got that in my head about it already. So these are, this is like from a planner, like a calendar. Those can go in the small pile. Oh yeah, and these are all those flow book pages that I copy dyed. Let's see. I think those are going to go in the large pile. This is just plain coffee dyed paper here. Most of it's going over in that large pile. And then I have some others that I'm going to cut down a little bit. Oh, sorry. I was just reading the chat. It looks like Kathy lost the stream. Well, I should be back, hopefully. So I'm taking a lot of this like real heavy like cardstock that I'm finding in here, and I'm just going to put it in its own little pile. So yeah, so this is actually 28 pound you know, printer paper. I started using that because it's just really sturdy, and you know, I never really even think about it because I dry my coffee dyed paper in the oven. And Paula, I think that the paper that you have, you know, and I could be wrong, but I think it's 24 pound. It might be 20 though. It depends on, does it have the I definitely sent paper that you know, it's all dried in the oven, but some of it I paid closer attention to than others. So if it is the 20 pound, then it's definitely the good stuff that, you know, didn't get, you know, overly dried. So I was pretty particular about what I used in those kits. But yeah, you know, honestly, I can't promise you that it's 24. It might be 20. So anyway, I think it's 24 though, to be honest. But yeah, I found a 28. So I just started, oh, I know what it is then. Okay, that is actually a presentation paper. That's what that is. If you're saying it feels really velvety, yeah, that's some presentation paper that I had, that I coffee dyed, and it coffee dyed really neat, like really smooth, right? I don't think I even have any of it left. Yeah, when you said that it felt velvety, and I knew exactly. Yeah. That's neat paper. Yeah, it's really cool paper. I don't have any more of it. But if you see it anywhere, you know, at a yard sale or anything, pick it up because it's really cool. And as you can see, it coffee dyes really well. So this is just a whole stack of stuff that I have set aside specifically for like the little like popcorn bag minis. So I honestly don't think I'm going to use any of this stack in here. And then there's also this stack that is set aside for those. So I'm going to be making some more popcorn bag minis here. Hi, Sophia. How are you? Okay, this is a pocket page. These are all pockets here. These are all pocket pages. So some are going to the left in larger journals. Some are going to the right. And these are all made out of like an atlas, you know. Some of these I just put together so long ago I don't even remember. Yeah, mostly these are going to go in the smaller journals. I might have to make some more for the larger ones. Yeah, I have a lot of pocket pages for those. These real small ones I'm going to put away. So I've got pocket pages. There's a giant one. Some kind of, you know, different type of paper, like the patterns, some handwritten letters, some calendar pages, these weird papers. So I'm just kind of separating this out so I know where I'm like short, you know. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, I make a lot of stuff ahead of time. I spend a lot of time preparing to make journals. Just because I stress out too bad if I'm just like working on this journal. Like, okay, I'm working on this journal and I'm going to make signatures for it and I'm going to make pockets for it and I'm going to put little corner tucks in it and I'm going to make little layered embellishments for it and I'm going to do all of those really cool things for it. And then I'm done with this one journal. You know, I lose interest and I get too stressed out with it. It's too tight and like confining. So I have to do like, I just have to work that way. I just have to work on a process and then another process and then another process and then kind of put it all together at the end. So. And a lot of people do kind of look at it as like an assembly line, I guess. I don't know if I would call it that, but it and I referred to it that way before. So, I mean, I guess it sort of is, but I just, I don't do fancy pockets and stuff. I do some stuff, but I don't know. That's not my thing. My thing is more of, like just using the ephemera and like my layering and clusters and things like that. So, okay, so this is all just plain coffee dyed paper. This is onion skin paper. This is masking paper, onion skin. Okay, so what I'm trying to determine is what I need more of, right? So I need more masking paper if I'm going to use masking paper in these books, which it's not that important to me. What I'd like to use more of is onion skin, and I want to add some pattern instructions because I have a ton of them. Yeah, so I'm going to cut those down. And I'm going to add more onion skin. Hang on one second, guys. If I knock the camera, I'm sorry. And I don't copy dye this paper anymore. I've just ruined too much of it copy dyeing it, so I just don't even bother anymore. Let's take a stack of that. And some of the thinner ones. Oh, I love this paper. This is just some kind of weird tissue. And of course I can't get it back in there now, but that's okay. And I'm going to pull out some of that ledger paper too. Oh, here we go. Here's some of this. I had some of this pulled out already. So this is just like some letterhead. Kind of a neat, it's kind of a neat weight though. It's almost like deckled a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of deckled a little bit. Kind of like has like a texture, almost like the onion skin. Okay, like the onion skin is a lot more defined, okay? This paper has that same kind of texture, but it's just a lot lighter, Anyway, I like it. It's neat paper. So that, and then I'm going to cut down some more coffee dyed paper. So I'm making a pile of stuff that I need to cut down, okay, that I need to trim. This is like heavier, like drawing paper that I coffee dyed. I don't think I'm going to use any of that. And then we've got like pattern papers. Some of these need to be trimmed a little bit, but not a ton. Let's see. When I coffee dye, I just kind of go to town, you know. Oh, I remember I had this whole stack kind of separated to use in these. I really do. I sort of go crazy when I coffee dye. I just figure, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it up. And I go to town. So I basically just pulled out a couple stacks of pattern paper that was already dyed. I don't think I'm going to use any like heavier I don't think I'm going to use much of this heavier paper in these. I have these like offcuts that I might use. I might use some of those. I don't know. Those are going over there. Okay. Alright, so here's my stuff I need to trim. So these are going back in there. Oh, these are some of those heavier papers. I forgot. Okay. So these are going back in some rubber bands just to keep them organized. This is all the like book paper that I'm going to use. These are all pockets I'm going to use. I think I have enough pockets. I honestly do. This needs to get trimmed. Okay, this is like heavier cardstock. And this is coffee dyed like printer paper all together. And this is kind of like my odd paper. I sort of stack all those up. This is a French fry bag sticking in there. All right. String on there. Okay. Oh, wait a second. I have all of these. This is already trimmed. What am I doing? Okay. I have all that onion skin paper that is already trimmed down. So I don't think I need to trim any for that. For those. And that. Okay, I was just kind of stacking up the stuff that I have for the larger ones into just like one pile because there's only 4 of them, so you know I don't need as much stuff for signatures for those, obviously. So what are you guys doing anyways? What are you working on? Because I know this is super boring, but I do need to make journals, so I thought it would be fun, and you guys could help. Where's my trimmer? I like to pull out the big guns when I'm gonna be cutting a lot of paper because the rotary trimmer just, I don't know, sometimes it just doesn't cut it. Oh, nice, Anne. Oh, you're making clusters, Laura? Right on. You can never have too many clusters, okay? I'm just saying. And you're making, okay, cool. You're making signatures or, and Kathy, that's funny. What's in your eBay haul? What's in your eBay haul, Kathy? I'm curious. So I need to see what, like, okay, what's the widest I need? And it's going to be about 9.5 inches altogether. And then as far as height, what's my shortest? Okay, hold on. I think, yeah. Oh, here, this one's actually my smallest. So about 7 inches and 8 inches. So anywhere between 7 and 8 inches. And then let's see, what's the width on this one? So this one would be a little shy of 8 inches. So it's about 7.5 inches. So I need to go between 7.5 and 9 inches for my height and width. Okay. And I can trim pages individually in each journal after they get assembled. So, oh, you did, Kathy. Sorry, I haven't seen them. Am I subscribed to you? I should be. I turned you into an eBay monster. That's funny. That's funny. Well, I have been to eBay anonymous. Oh, wait, what did I say my height was? Like 6.5. Okay. So oh my gosh, you know what this is right here? This is this is from a record, from a vinyl. This was the sleeve from a vinyl. Just saying. Where's my paper? Oh. You need to go already? Where are you going? Okay. Okay, well, I will definitely, I'm pretty sure I subscribe to your channel. If I haven't, I definitely will because I want some stuff. And so I'm sure, you know, the rest of us will do the same if we haven't already. Yeah, so I'm just approximating the size here, you guys. That's kind of what I'm doing. Like, so my tallest book is like, you know, 8 inches. Okay, so I'm not cutting anything taller than 8 inches. Anything smaller than that I use this paper in is gonna get trimmed if I use that paper in it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but and maybe to some people this seems like, I don't know, wasteful or something. I don't really see it that way. So a lot of it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut it in half. And they're just going to be shorter pages, you know. So I'm going to do... So my mom loves to tell this story about when I was a kid, when I was in grade school. I used to ask my teachers for any paper that they didn't need, okay, like, or that they weren't going to use, or, you know, like assignments that they had already given us, or, you know, like if they printed too many of something. And do you remember the mimeograph machine where, you know, you took the copy and you slide it onto that big drum, and then you crank that big metal drum and make copies with it? Well, I used to always want to be the teacher's helper so that I could do that. That was like, I just wanted to do that so bad. And I just would love it when my teacher would say, okay, well, here's 40 different things that I need 25 copies of. And I would just stand there in the office like for hours just making copies for my teacher. I just loved it. And she would give me, yeah, Scotty, I knew you would know. I loved that thing. And man, if I could get my hands on one of those, that would be rad. Anyway, so I've always had this thing about cutting paper, and I've always loved cutting stacks of paper on a paper cutter like this. And I loved the one that they had in the office at school, because you could, and it had that thing, that bar that held down like the whole stack, you know, and you could cut like 50 pages at once. Anyway, I've always loved cutting paper. And it used to drive my mom crazy. Used to drive her crazy because there was always gobs of paper confetti all over my room. So I'm not going to worry about trimming these down right now, because some of them I'm going to wind up folding in and making a pocket out of it, maybe, or maybe just like a flip out. And I'm going to wind up like using them in different ways in those smaller journals. So I'm not going to worry about trimming them right now. I need to get to folding. Oh, I wanted to trim those though. I do want to trim these. So if anybody's curious, Steven is still in Texas. And I sort of have a feeling he's going to be there for quite a while. Which, you know, is a good thing. I mean, you know, I want his grandma to live the rest of her life to her fullest potential and all of that, you know. I miss him and I want him to come home at the same time, though. So, you know, it's kind of hard. It's, you know, it's like, I know that when he does come home, it means that his grandma passed away, and so that's not necessarily a good thing. You know, so it's been really hard for me to kind of understand how I'm supposed to feel about that, you know. Oh, I'm sure you do, Laura. I'm sure you do. Laura has a bigger, better everything than I do. I'm just saying. Oh, no. I have slept on my desk a couple nights, though. I have to admit. One night, I actually fell asleep sitting up at my desk, and I don't even know how the hell I didn't fall over, but you've been doing it longer, Laura. I know. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't fall over. I think I just had myself like wedged in there so good that I just didn't fall over. But every once in a while, one of my kids will come in and say, "Mommy, go to bed," you know. Anyway, I hate my bed. It's covered with laundry. You know, it's just covered with laundry that I need to fold, and it's cold in there. It's warmer in here. I'm perfectly comfortable sleeping sitting up. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I've just gotten to this age, I guess. I don't know what it is, but my sleeping habits have just gotten really bizarre. Really super bizarre. And I've read that it has to do with, menopause and being like premenopausal or whatever and that kind of thing. So I don't know. Maybe it'll clear up eventually. You fell asleep on the kitchen floor today, Amber? I could see myself doing that, honestly. Yeah, I could see myself doing that. Yeah, Stephen has come into my studio, which is in the den, a few times in the morning and found me sleeping on my desk. And I'm not even embarrassed about it, okay? Okay, maybe a little, but whatever. I'm just passionate about doing what I'm doing. Yeah, it's just old age. I know. Well, you know what it is I feel like I have so much better ways of passing time than sleeping. Like, it just seems like a waste of time. And as long as I have the energy, I might as well stay up and get stuff done, right? I mean, I don't have any, I sleep. I do. I sleep. I just don't sleep as much as people think I should, I guess. All right. So those are cut up, usable. Okay, I'm getting rid of this big tray. Hold on one second, guys. All right, and then there's this box, which is ephemera or, that kind of stuff. Just a bunch of old envelopes in here. That's kind of cool. This is on onion skin paper. You know what, Scotty? My mom has the same concern. It's like, and it's weird because I share a house with her, I don't like to say I live with my mom. I kind of do, but we don't really share our living space at all. Yeah, and she has a major consideration about my sleeping thing. And it's I don't know, she hates it when I'm sleeping during the day. She just hates it. It just drives her nuts. And she won't admit it, but I just know it does. Yeah, I don't know. It's like she thinks that I'm not being productive or something, or I'm not really sure what it is either, but um I can hear her. She lives upstairs, and so I can hear her, And I mean, she'll say that it doesn't bother her, but I personally think it does. And I don't know. Like maybe it just goes back to like when I was a teenager and I used to sleep, um, until noon or something, and or her years of having to wake me up for school, and stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know. It's like I can hear her upstairs. She doesn't want to vacuum if I'm sleeping, and it's like she feels like she can't do stuff if I'm sleeping. And I just tell her all the time, like, just do whatever you're gonna do. It doesn't matter. If you wake me up with the vacuum cleaner, then that's just what happens. But don't make, you know, don't even think about it. Like, just do whatever you're doing. So, anywho, I'm just kind of going through some of this just paperwork that was in that box of ephemera, and just pulling out basically usable pieces of paper. Okay, not really paying too much attention to what it is. Just, I know there's going to be interesting stuff in here, so, well, because I put it all in here, so I know what's in here, basically, but, you know, there's some love letters that are really, really cool that I'm going to give to Steven. No. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but they're neat. Like, I don't want to get rid of them, and I don't want to use them. Yeah. She wants me to go thrift store shopping with her, Laura. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. She does love thrift store shopping, that's for sure. Yeah, some of this paper is cool. Dear John letters? No, I haven't found any Dear John letters in any of this stuff. This is something about some certified furniture. 1949. Wow. Imperial 796 genuine mahogany drum table, hand tooled number 10 brown leather top. This is like a certificate of authenticity for her table. That's some cool ephemera, huh? Hi, Vicky. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Sleep is weird. So yeah, I'm just pulling out stuff that I like, and I think would be cool to use in some of these little pamphlet journals. These are the envelopes that the love letters came in. I love the way he addresses her, like in the letters, like he says, "My dearest one," and or like if I see one in here, I'll read you part of it. But here's a whole bunch of envelopes. So when I do want to use some envelopes in the signatures. So I'm gonna pull some out. Some of the like longer ones. That one is like super old. Super beat up, 1945. Okay, so I love these where, you know, like this is just like some envelope that somebody was like figuring out their bills on, you know. I just think they're interesting. I'm keeping that. I'm using that. Okay, let me see. Here's one of the love letters. Dear Charlotte, trust, so this is, December 23rd. Wait a second. Yeah. Okay. I guess he's not the one that does the like my dearest blah blah blah. He just says Dear Charlotte. So these are November 1863. So these are old. Old. Dear Charlotte, it is just 1 a.m. and I steal a few moments before retiring to dream of the happy days as recently paused at the Platte something to tell you of my safe arrival and that I found everything relating to my interest in as good condition as I could reasonably have expected. Much better than I had hoped for, which I am very thankful. Here I am at home. How strange it seems, how quiet. How very lonesome. My mind naturally reverts to those with whom I have so recently parted, and when I have learned to love very much for the many acts of kindness bestowed upon me since Providence brought us together, and I wonder if miss me as I do them, and feeling assured that I share their love, I can but fervently pray God has them and make them one and all very happy and bring us at last to meet where the parting hour will never come. I trust it will be so and rejoice. Anyway, he's a pretty smooth talker, though, I'm telling you. Dear Charlotte, I presume you have not forgotten my promise to answer my last, and I assure you that I have not, although I have delayed doing so much longer than I intended when I made the promise, but will do so now, as I suppose I should never hear from you again if I neglected it, and I would not censure you if I did not, and I always believe in making persons keep their promises if you can. Wow, that was like a super long, weird sentence. Anyway, and then I have all of this like, oh, Brenda, are you leaving? Okay, sorry. I just like off in La La Land. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you. I love you. So, I don't know if I want to use any of those love letters, right? Because those are pretty fancy. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep those for a while. But I'm going to use this Montgomery Ward's bill and this Drazen's bill. I know, isn't it, Vicky? Yeah. It's nice when, you know, a man has a way with words, right? I think that's why we like singers, you know? It's just the words that they use, and it's hard for us to, I think, it's just, oh, it's just like, oh my God, he does have a heart. Like, you know, he says all of this sweet stuff, you know, and yeah, makes your heart melt, doesn't it? When you realize that, you know, men aren't just like insensitive bastards. Just saying. Because they're not. I have 5 sons, so I don't really think they are, but sometimes it seems like it. Anyway. Yeah, men were gentlemen back then, and they courted women, and they cared what she thought, and they didn't play head games, and, you know, they knew that they were the one that was supposed to call on her, and she was a lady about it, and she waited, and, you know, and she was heartbroken when he didn't. And that's so hard to kind of bring together now, you know? Like, why don't they understand that now? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I've always told my boys, like, you know, like, because my mom told me when I was a teenager and stuff, like, because I always wanted to call boys, you know? And she just told me, like, that it was basically, like, not okay, you know? That I needed to have him call me, you know? That boys were supposed to call girls. And that's just the way it was supposed to be, you know? And I always had such a hard time with that. I was like, well, why is that okay? Like, I should be able to call him if I want to, you know? Yes, exactly, Scotty. You're lucky if you get a text. What's up? Yep, exactly. You know, and I think, oh, this is gonna sound crazy, but that's one of the things I like about Steven is that he is kind of like old-fashioned a little bit, you know? And maybe because he's from the South. I don't know. It's like I'm not used to it. It just kind of, woo, you know, swept me off my feet, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting. So yeah, so I pulled out a bunch of letters and some bills and stuff like that out of that ephemera, right? So then I'm going to kind of put it together with that stuff. And so basically what I'm doing now is I'm just going to fold it all into a usable, like, shape, you know. And I'm going to stack this all up. And as I'm putting the signatures together, I'm going to make sure that I grab a couple of these. And they're going to be real random, you know, the way that they go together. So this is kind of interesting. See, I almost think that I should keep this intact and then like use it in one of the larger journals. Your grandpa's letters to my grandma when he was in Vietnam make me cry. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure. You know, I've talked about this before, but you know, it's interesting, like I met Steven online, okay? I met him in a Facebook group and we just kind of started chatting and that kind of thing. And There's kind of a cadence to your communication when you're doing that, and there's a certain way that kind of goes down, right? And I'm just saying, like, there's a rhythm to it, like you have to kind of stay on top of the communication. Anyway, so I'm not embarrassed in any way, shape, or form to say that I met him online. But maybe 10, 15 years ago I would have been, but now it's like it's not a big deal. Nobody cares. But back in the day, so it's like you don't have that like physical attraction, right? All you have are your words, and you can video chat and all of that, but ultimately all you have are your written words or your spoken words. And so I feel like it makes you choose them more carefully when you're communicating like that rather than in person, because your words, verbally or written, can be misunderstood so easily without the body language to go along with it. So I almost feel like, in a way, it's more who we really are, because there's not all of those other like considerations about our communication that comes into it, And so what it kind of reminds me of is like back when, like Stone Mountain, and when if you've ever seen Stone Mountain, so he's going off to war, he enlists in the service, and he's going off to war, and he's only just met her, and he asks her to wait for him, and they of course write letters to each other and stuff, which neither of them ever get, but they know that she's waiting for him, and she just knows in her heart that he's going to come back. Well, people wrote to each other, and they got to know each other like over years, sometimes just through letters. So it's almost the same as like the internet in a way, I guess that's where I was going with that. But some of those letters are amazing, and I've met some really amazing people on the internet, right? And like you guys, so anyway, I don't know exactly what my point was, but yes, Cold Mountain was a good movie. So these envelopes are just going to get basically stitched into my signatures in half. Hopefully right side up, usually right side up. And I'll wind up like cutting them open or something like that, just, as I come to them in the book. Oh, Laura, that's so romantic. You used to leave notes on your car early in the morning. That's so cute. Hi, Elizabeth. How's it going? We're talking about romance. Like love letters and stuff like that. Like, because there were some love letters in some of this ephemera, Good. The only thing your hubs left on your car was an empty gas tank. That's funny. Oh, your boyfriend sends you one every day? A love letter? A love note? That's so cute. Boyfriend or husband? Sorry. I don't know what BH is. Maybe that's a typo. Yeah, see, and you print them out and stick them in a book. That's so cute. You probably have talked about that. Um, yeah, and I don't know. I think about like song lyrics, you know. And I started listening Hubby. Okay. Big handsome. Oh, is that the name of the book? Oh, it's funny. Or is that like what you call your husband? That's so cute. I started listening to country music because of Steven. Okay, I'm just saying. Like, any of you guys listen to country music? He tried to steal your salad. You listen to country music, Elizabeth? Isn't it romantic as hell? Wait, I tried to steal my salad to go with this. I'm confused, Vicky. Oh, you okay? So, Laura, Vicky, you don't listen to country music. Kathy, you do. Elizabeth, you do. Okay. Scotty, you do. Okay, it's romantic. Oh my god, I never realized how freaking romantic it is or can be. Oh my god, like he'll just like play songs for me and I'll be just bawling. Hi Laura, how are you? Ah, Laura, smooth jazz. Yeah, I should have known. So now that he's not here, usually I listen to like Tool or bands like that, like kind of like grunge rock and that kind of thing. But so now I'm listening to country in the car, and it just reminds me of Steven. So anyway, but he sings and he plays guitar for me too, so that's kind of cool. And his cute Texas accent. Oh my god. I'm gonna make myself sick. Alright. So some of these I can leave just like that. I can put them in a journal like that way, and then just use this like as a flip, So some of these like letters that are just folded up, I'm just going to leave them intact like that, and I'm going to stitch them into those larger journals that way, like this one. A little bit, Laura. A little bit. I don't know. I've sort of gotten used to the idea that he's not here now. Like, it's just that it's such an indefinite amount of time, that we don't know when he's going to be back. So, whatever. I'm not as upset about it now as I was when he first left. Not sleeping on the floor. Yes, it was an old, it's like a title or something. Oh, no, not that one. This one? This was a business license, I think. Yeah, this is a business license. That one is. I can't find it now. Yeah, it was certified. Yep. Oh, you did? You recognize that? That's funny. No, he's not in the military, Amber. He's not in the military. I live in Washington State, and Steven moved up here a couple months ago from Texas, and he recently had to go back to Texas because his grandma is really sick and most likely passing on, and so he went back home to be with his family and kind of support them. So. Yeah. Yeah, Scotty. I sucked at typing. I still want a typewriter, but yeah, now it's just like adjust margin, right? Oh, setting margins. Thanks, Amber. Yeah, so we don't know how long he's gonna be gone because, you know, I guess she's been at home, but not doing extremely well there. But she's not in like hospice care at this point. So my thinking is that, she could be months away. So, who knows? Anyway. I'm torn. No, I would never live in Texas. No, 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 no. That would be impossible. I couldn't deal with the humidity for one thing. No, I couldn't do it. And he knew that going in, so if he starts trying to talk me into it, then, well, I guess we're just doomed because I couldn't do it. I already tried living in that part of the country, sort of, at one point. Yeah, I know. I get that, but I couldn't do it. And my whole family is here, and I guess if that means that he has to just go back to Texas now and then that's just the way it is. But yeah, thank you, Laura. Thank you. I'm kind of stubborn about it. I've been in Spokane for almost 30 years, and yeah, I'm not doing that. I lived in Oklahoma. For about a year, and yeah, I hated it. I hated it really, 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 really bad. Yeah, Pacific Northwest is just, it's just a kinder, gentler place to be for me. No, it's not always raining. I live in Spokane, which is on the east side of the state of Washington, right near the border of Idaho. and it's kind of like a high desert area. So, it's actually pretty dry here in the summer. And then we have, spring and fall that are basically, typical spring and fall weather and what you would think of. And, it rains in the spring, it rains in the fall, it snows in the winter, it's sunny in the summertime. It's like, 4 definite seasons. So you get a really good, you get your fill of each of them. It gets really hot here in the summertime sometimes. Yeah, Seattle is definitely a lot wetter. Seattle rains, oh my gosh, I don't even know how many days out of the year. It's something like 250 days out of the year. Doesn't that sound about right, Scotty? Oh, you're from Missouri? Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's just about the time you're getting sick of summer and it's too hot, it starts cooling off and it's nice. Just about the time when I think I can't take it anymore, the snow starts to melt. So, it's just, I don't know. For me, it's just the perfect climate. So basically, I'm just folding up everything into like usable pages, And this is some really thin onion skin typing paper. Some really old onion skin typing paper. So, are you guys all doing the cluster swap? How many of you guys are doing the cluster swap in our Facebook group? Yeah, I've never been to the East Coast, and I've always wanted to. Always, always, always. So one of these days, I'm just going to drive my ass over there. I'm just saying. If I ever, have the money to do that, that's something I've always wanted to do. So, well, why can't you? Okay. So Kathy, Laura. Okay. So how come you guys didn't get in on the swap? Is that what you're talking about, Elizabeth? Because if you want to do it, I can put you in there. I just, you just have to put your info in the group file. The rack list. Your 10, Laura, 10. So the reason I'm asking is because I'm wondering if. Okay. Well, if you don't feel like you want to commit to it, Laura, then, I get it. But I kind of got to thinking about it, and I was basically going to have people send their 10 clusters to the person that they're swapping with. But I kind of got to thinking about it, and I'm wondering if maybe I should have people send them all to me, and then I can mix them all up and then send them back out. But then it's like, well, I don't know. I'd be afraid that I would send somebody their own cluster back. So I'm going to do a poll, I think, in the Facebook group and see what everybody thinks we should do. You know, I don't know. I never did it before, so I don't know. Well, I don't mind the work. I just don't. Yeah, I think it might be better to mix them up too. I think I should just, I think I'm going to do that. I think I might just have people send them to me. Yeah, I know. Exactly. No, no, no. I'm not paying for postage. No, 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 for sure. So, say like, you know, make sure that your 10 clusters are less than 15 ounces so that they can ship first class. It's the international ones that I'm concerned about mostly. I think that our international, they should ship to each other. Don't you think? Does that make sense? Tell me what I should do about that. You need to figure out some things health-wise just now? Okay. So you're not sure if you're going to do it then, Scotty? Is that what you're saying? Or I'm not sure what you're saying. But I know you're saying you have to figure out some health stuff. So, well, I hope everything's okay. All right. Well, yeah. So the international swap people, I think, should ship to each other. So when I make up the list tonight, I will I'll see how many international people there are, which I think there's only a few. There's only maybe 4. And then I'll get with them individually and coordinate with them. So, and then the rest of them, I think I'll just have them shipped to me. My only thing is, like I said, my only fear is that I don't want to send somebody their own cluster. So I guess I'll have to have everybody like identify their clusters somehow on the back of them or something. You can't make clusters. What are you talking about? Oh, you're not feeling well, Scotty? Oh, well, I knew that you weren't, but more than normal. Mm, I'm sorry. Yeah, warm love. Warm love to ya. Amber, that's funny. Did you see my video that I just did, Amber? Yeah, I know. Everybody signed their work and stuff, Elizabeth, but you know, it's yes, and date it for sure. I never sign any of my work, but I'm gonna start. And I don't know why I don't. I mean, why haven't I ever signed any of my journals? It's ridiculous. Anyways, that's just ridiculous. Binge watching and trying to learn. Well, you watched Carhart's video, right? Yeah, Carhart made a really cool video about clusters, and she has a really good exercise in there in her video. Oh, well, you know what? You just, you know, you have to just do it and not care, you know, really, I think. But I know it can be really challenging. It's not something that just comes naturally to everybody, you know. This is some of that presentation paper. Yeah, so I know exactly. Yeah, I can feel it. It was Paula, right? I was trying to remember. Who was that? Yeah, it is. It's really soft and almost velvety. Oh, well, good, Amber. Yeah, no, don't give up because I know that you can do them, you know? I know that you can. And that's the thing. In the last video that I made, I mentioned something about making them for you, you know? And not making them for anybody else. Like, don't, and that, I would say for any kind of artistic expression or creative endeavor, you know. You can't do it for anybody else ever. You can only do it for you. Well, maybe you can cluster. You just have to do it with glue. Maybe you just are that kind of person. Like you want to do it with glue. Try it with glue. You like the cluster video, Scotty? Thanks. I wanted to just, you know, kind of put all of the stuff that I wanted to say about her that I had already said kind of into one place, you know. And there were some people that had some questions in the group and stuff, so yeah. I definitely have lots and lots of clusters. So I think having people send the clusters to me and let me split them out and stuff is a good idea, because that way if somebody falls short and, you know, they're not able to fulfill their obligation, then, you know, I'm right there to kind of pick it up and help out. And I've had a couple other people like volunteer to do that too. So that's awesome. So these, I'm sorry. Wait, what'd you say? Yeah, the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher is, in my opinion, is the best way to go. So I'm just not sure how I want to cut these. All right, where's my tallest one? So hang on a second. So I'm gonna say, like I'm thinking like the 3rd week of April, you know? Yeah, Dottie, if so midnight last night was the deadline to get in on the swap. But if you guys are interested in doing it, like, I mean, you could still do it, you know. Just send me an email, okay? It's just so that I have your. So, okay, I'm not going to take any more like entries or anything after midnight today. That's April 1st, okay? If you don't get me an email in by midnight tonight, April 1st, then you just have to do whatever, you know, we just can't do it. But because I got to get that list made. Actually, I don't really even need to make the list now if everybody's just going to send them to me. I just need to get with the international people. So that's cool. Hang on just a second. Oh Lord, you're not supposed to say Tim Holtz's name now. Okay, well that's fine. This is a tiny attacher. It's just a little staple gun. That's fine. I won't say his name ever if they don't want me to. I don't care. So yeah, I'll just write up a post in the group and let everybody know that we're just going to have them sent to me, and then I'll split them out, and then but they need to be to me. I'm going to say by the end of April, by the last day of April. Yeah. Postmarked by the last day of April or something like that. Yeah, that should work. And then I'll get them back out. I'm a fan of some of his stuff, Kathy. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't necessarily like everything he makes, you know. But there is a lot of his stuff that I do like. And, you know, that little tiny attacher, I like it, although it did break right away. The little rubber part that holds the, I'll show you. This part, this like plastic part right here is supposed to be attached on here, and it broke. So when I refill this, I have to hold that back manually. You know. Yeah, that doesn't sound right to me either, but if, you know, YouTube wants to come and tell me, you know, don't talk about Tim Holtz, then I'll say, okay, whatever. I don't care. So I'm just kind of folding these into like a usable, you know, like form for the journals. And then as I put them into those different books, they'll either get trimmed down or not, right? Because this will fit in the largest one of the small, like, series, you know. Yeah, exactly. YouTube wants to tell me that. That's, you know, that's on YouTube. Didn't I believe it? Anywho. So these I'm just kind of folding them in, you know, folding in the edges to kind of make them fit. And they'll either get chopped off here or they won't. You know, that's basically the only waste I'm going to have. Because the width is going to fit any of them. You know, like if I take the narrowest one, that will fit in there. So that's all I'm concerned about. Yeah, see? So basically, this one's going to have to get trimmed down just a little bit when it's in, if it's in this book, you know, which I just do as I put them together, as I stitch them together. Yes, and everybody put your names on them. I'll write up a nice comprehensive kind of like post as soon as I'm done here, and then I'll get it up right away so everybody's on the same page. I don't want anybody to, well, they're kind of waiting for me to, you know, put out like a list of people that we're swapping with, so I doubt if anybody's going to send anything to anybody yet. Hopefully not. So I think that'll be easier for everybody. It's not like there's that many people. I mean, there's probably maybe 25 or so. What size is this paper? I'm not sure. I think it's 12. I think it's 9 by 12 or 8 by 12. I can't remember. I already had it cut, so I didn't just cut it. I thought maybe this was a Tim Holtz ruler. No, it's Artist Loft. Okay. So 7.5 by 12. Oh, I'll give it to you right now. And I usually I started putting it on my videos. You might not, have found one that has it, but yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hi, Kat. You're welcome. Yeah, so just send me an email if you want to get in the swap, okay? And then I'm going to have just basically a list of everybody that's in it, and I will publish that on in the group. You didn't get the notification? Well, that's weird. But you know what? I don't get notifications a lot. And you probably, well, I don't know. Everything was kind of screwed up when I first came on today because, I don't know, like the broadcaster went haywire and all kinds of things went wrong. So, I don't know what happened, Kat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you missed us. So, I'm just assembling some signatures. Putting together, I should say, stacks of paper to assemble into signatures. And I might need more paper than this, too. I don't know. But I don't want to make those too fat either, you know what I mean? And I know I have more than I need, like, in general for these journals, But that's okay. Like, it's not like I'm not going to make more journals in that general size. So it just kind of keeps going, And then I'll just replenish that tray again later on. As it empties out, I just keep moving more stuff into it. That's basically the way I work with that big tray. I put stuff in there that I want to use, and then, based on what size journal I'm making, I'll pull from that tray. And, as certain sizes start to kind of deplete in that tray, I'll replace them with more, new stuff that I want to use. So whatever I don't use from this round or whatever, it'll go back in that tray. And hopefully it'll get used on the next round. I keep the ephemera separate because, that's stuff that I will use separately in journals, like, it tucked into pockets and things like that. So, Tanya, hi. Hi. Cold coffee. All right, so how many do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I have 11 covers. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort this stuff out into 11 piles. And then they're going to get stitched together. So where's my pockets? Well, I can go there, I guess. Okay, so usually I'll start with a second. Okay, so this is the like weird odd stuff. Wait, where's the other weird odd stuff? Okay, here it is. So this stuff is all sort of in the same category, okay? Because it's all kind of like weird stuff. It's just different. Like I don't have a whole bunch of one or the other of it. So this is all pattern paper. This is all like onion skin papers. Whoops, broken rubber band. I use a lot of rubber bands. Wait, what am I doing? What are we talking about? What are your covers made out of? These covers are some pamphlets that came in, from some like ephemera purchases. So these are all just different like pamphlets that I've gutted and then turned into a journal cover by lining them. Come on. By lining them with a piece of fabric. So, no. So she's asking if I dyed the papers with onion skin. No, they call it onion skin paper because it sounds like onion skin. It doesn't actually have any onion skin to do with it at all. So, yeah. So I have those, and then those are like the smaller ones. Where did I put the big ones? Oh, here's the big ones. And these are the larger ones. See, and these each have like a fabric liner. Yeah. So, and those. I have a whole bunch of other journal like covers that I want to, I want to complete. I have a whole bunch of these like kind of Asian inspired sort of covers, so I'm kind of trying to collect stuff that would, kind of go along those lines. And these are just, file folders. So just, random things. It's not adhesive fabric, Vicky. I sewed it on with my sewing machine. Okay. I might wind up using some of these. Still, I'm not sure. If I do, I'll add them in individually into each journal. All right, so these are just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've got enough to do another round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then a little short one in each one. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I know I don't have enough of these to make another round of just the plain white coffee dyed paper. So these are going to get put back in the tray. This is just, I don't know, this is the way I do it. Oh, I do have some more coffee dyed plain white paper, so hang on. But this stuff is a little bit different. That's not coffee dyed for one thing. Hang on. So this is just a different size, so those are going to need to get folded. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one's pretty crispy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So I had a few of those left over. And then what were these? I think that's enough plain paper. Okay. I did actually have enough to do another round. But I think that's going to be good. And this is like these are all just like a heavier cardstock. So I'm just going to do one in each one. For now, I might have enough for 2. Yeah. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I might be okay. I might have enough for 2 in each one. So then I have that. And then I can just fold another one of these. Okay, so now I have 2 pieces of like a heavy cardstock in here. Sorry, I'm just reading your guys' chat. You guys are super funny. Okay. So these are just book pages and pages out of pamphlets. Okay. So these are going to get sorted out in by rounds too. 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to do one more round. Okay. So I've done 4 like book pages in each one. This is some ledger paper. Or not ledger paper, but just like notebook paper. Okay. So I just want to find, know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use some of these because I ran short on like notebook paper. Thanks. I just saw the poker dealer comment. I'm going to pull out some of these. Oh my God. Oh, you guys, this ledger paper is so yummy. It's so freaking yummy. I'm just saying. All right. So some of these little journals are going to have some of this ledger paper in them. Well, actually, all of them are going to have at least one. See how generous I am? And these are going to have 2. Okay, so those ones are going to go into the big journals. Okay, so I think that's enough for book pages. Clara, your clusters just aren't working. Are you getting frustrated? Kathy, you're funny. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I've done it a few times, Kat. I've done it a few times. I do usually work like in a series. You know what I mean? So, oh, Clara, I'm sure they're not that bad. See, you're just thinking that, well, okay. I shouldn't say what you're thinking. I apologize. I should never say that. But why are they awful? Tell me what's awful about them. Because I don't believe that they... Try just doing 3 layers. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that helps. You just try doing 3 layers just to start out. Yeah, just keep trying because I know that you can do it. And I know that you can make something that you'll be happy with. You probably won't just right off the bat, obviously. Just keep trying. Just keep making more. Try making them with 3 layers. Try the method that I showed in one of my live stream videos. And then also watch Kara Hart's video. That's right, Grace. That's exactly right. I agree with you. When you put the buttons or flowers on, it kind of pulls them together. So, seriously, Claire, try just like 3 layers maybe. Pick out 12 of 12 different things. 12 of 3 different things. And then layer them all together like Kara does on her video. It's kind of cool. Like, she just like grabs and stacks it, grab it and stack it, grab it and stack it. And that's really all I do. Seriously, like that's the only thing I do. Okay, Vicky. Well, I love you. I'm glad you come and hung out. So I'm just stacking up paper in these stacks to use in those minis. I guess they're not. I don't know. Are they minis? Yeah, they're minis. I'm basically just trying to make sure that I'm putting the same number of pages in each journal at this point, you guys. That's really what that's all I'm doing. I am sort of paying attention to the weight of the paper too, you know? Like I don't necessarily want like a bunch of really heavy paper in one and not in the other, you know? And as I'm like organizing each signature, so I'm done with this stuff. As I'm organizing each signature, I can pull stuff out, you know? I don't necessarily have to use everything that I put in this stack if it just doesn't feel like, you know. So these are just pocket pages. So I'm just kind of, I don't know what that is. Adding a pocket page to each pile. I think this one's a little large. And then I'm just going to do 2 pocket pages in each pile. I'd like to do at least one small, one large in each pile if I can. I use a lot of maps, I guess, as pockets, you know. I don't know if you guys do that, but I kind of wind up using a lot of maps as pockets. So some of these are going to have more pockets than others, which is fine. Oh, hi, Care. Yeah. Well, I like your video. I think it's awesome, and you know, it's a good exercise. It really, really, really is. It's a really good exercise, and for a lot of different, you know, not just for clusters, right? Like it's like I said, you know, I do the same thing. I overthink things too, and it is crippling. It can be very, very, very crippling. So I'm just adding like a piece of ephemera now, like a letter or something, to each pile. And of course, you know, each one of these journals is going to get even more ephemera added in, like in the pockets and stapled onto the pages and things like that, you know. So, you know, I'm basically, I think we're going to wind up with like 3 in each one. And these kind of wound up short a little bit in the pocket department. So I'm just kind of, now let me see if I have enough to do one of these envelopes in each one, which I don't think I do. Okay, there. So that is seriously, that's how I put these signatures together. Well, that's how I, you know, get all my stuff together for them anyways. So then I'll just take each bundle, put it all together, put a rubber band around it, and stack them up, you know. And then when it's time to stitch them together, see, and obviously, like, everything is too big for this, right? But that's okay. Like, it's gonna get pulled back together. You know, I'm gonna do some trimming as I assemble each signature, you know, for real, and like stitch it in. Everything's gonna get pulled into place, you know, and then and trimmed as needed. I can replace an item if I need to, or whatever, you know. This is just to kind of get me on the road, you know, to get me on the right track. It's to make me feel like, okay, I'm about halfway done with that journal. I need more big rubber bands. And before I go, I'll put one of these together, okay? I'll show you what I mean and how I'll just kind of rearrange stuff or refold it or whatever. Yes, Virginia, I do. I will sometimes fold them up. A lot of the times I'll trim them. It depends on what it is. It depends on what it is, you know. No, they're going to fall off of there. Yeah, and sometimes it means just folding in a piece of paper and making it just like a flip out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thanks, Care. Yeah, I think it's you know, it's a pretty good variety, you know. There's some, you know, genuine vintage ephemera in each book. There's some pockets. Smells vintagey. There's some pockets. You know, some coffee dyed stuff, different weights of paper, you know. I try to use a good variety of stuff, you know. So, and that's just kind of my style, I guess, is just, you know, vintage life, I guess. More than, you know, like a theme of sewing or, you know. Oh, so anybody who wasn't here like in the beginning of the live stream, sometimes I'll do them this way because I don't want to rip that paper, you know. I do want to show you, I don't know, I wanted to show you that I do have all these little baby minis that I started making yesterday, and so I'm giving one of these away. These are going to get all done up, okay? Like I'm going to add like a cluster on the front and, you know, fill up the pockets and stuff with ephemera and you know, journaling cards and things like that. So I'm going to give one of these to each customer that that purchases a journal until they run out. And I have 19 of them. So I just wanted you guys to know that. And that started today. I also have free shipping, free standard shipping in the US for any order $50 or more. And then I'm also doing 20% off any $100 purchase nationwide. So, yeah. So just so you're aware of that. Because I know a lot of you guys just came in, so. Yeah, I go through so many rubber bands, you guys. I break rubber bands constantly. Of course, you know, with making some of the minis, like the A6 sizes or whatever, those are things that, you know, I can measure and cut exactly right, you know, but these, they're all different sizes. So that's a, you know, like kind of more of a challenge. You know what I mean? So let's look at this one and I'll see what I need to do to kind of make this one work. Okay. Oh, see, and I ripped that ledger paper. Okay. So basically I've got an envelope here. This is my ephemera. So I'm going to kind of stack it up. It's pocket page, pocket page. This is kind of weird, odd paper that I only have one of. This is going to get folded. It's a little bit brittle. This ledger paper. It is actually a tiny bit brittle. Not extremely bad, but it is a little bit. Okay, so this is weird stuff. So I'm just kind of setting this stuff out. Like I'm sort of like opening it all up so I know what's in here, you know, so that when I grab everything to put it in the signature for real, I can make it more evenly like dispersed, you know. So I usually try to use something like this as the first page in my signature, right? Something that's like pretty, you know. What does that mean, Scotty? I don't even understand that whole thing. Oh, Clara, you're so sweet. I know you're going to figure it out. Oh, okay. I understand now, Scotty. I understand. I get it. Okay. Sorry. I'm just like, whoa, way over my head. Okay. I understand. And I definitely am going to. So if you're okay with that. So, yes. I'm going to do that because Laura left too, didn't she? Or no, Laura's still here. Yeah. There we go. Okay, I appreciate that because Scotty's a moderator in our Facebook group too. So, and I thought I had actually done it in here, but I didn't. So, thank you. So then I'm just going to kind of stack things in here, sort of, you know, trying to give it like an even disbursement, okay? Like I don't want to have a bunch of pocket pages next to each other, you know. I want them to be sort of evenly spread out. I generally try not to put book pages right next to each other either. I try to have some kind of variation in between the types of paper, right? So like so this is like writing paper, you know. So I didn't want to put another piece of writing paper right next to it. You know, that's where I want to add some variety, okay? That's just my thinking, okay? So that's like a pocket page. That is like gigantic, and that's okay. So is that. That's okay. I'm going to add in this other piece of like heavier cardstock, and then this envelope, piece of ephemera, another piece of writing paper. book paper, ledger paper, book paper, ephemera, writing paper, another piece of ephemera. So the only thing that bothers me about this, the way this wound up, is that I like to have a pocket page in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this envelope and put that envelope in the middle. Okay, so that's my signature that's going to go in this book. So basically, all I need to do, since the height is actually pretty good, all I need to do now is basically worry about this stuff that kind of sticks over, right? So whether I decide to make these into pockets or not, I'm just going to go through this book and fold everything in that's sticking out. And then I can decide later if I want to actually trim it off. But for now, I want to get everything kind of in order, you know, like I want it behaving itself, if you know what I mean. So that side, this side. First one that was weird was this one. Oh, because this one was a little weird. This one. That one's fine. This one's a little bit long. And then that one. Okay. So basically, everything is in there now. Yeah, and if I need to trim it a little more, then I can, But this is generally how I put my journals together, Sometimes things just need to be trimmed even more, and that's just, what you have to do. This one, it's kind of misleading because this fabric sort of sticks out past the edge of the actual book, Like you can see it on the back here. So what I might actually do on this one is take another strip of fabric and just kind of stitch it along the outside here, or glue it on even, because I don't necessarily want to make it any skinnier. Otherwise I have to trim everything that's in there. So I think what I might do with this one is just extend the book out a little bit more, But these are kind of a weird shape and stuff, so... Anyway, so then I will do that with all of these, I'll get all of them into that kind of form. And then I will come back through, even before I decide whether I'm going to trim that off or not, I'll stitch these all together. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll stitch them all together. And then I'm committed to at least the pages that are in the journal. And then it's just a matter of how I treat them. So, okay. Yeah, so I think we did pretty good. I mean, I feel like, that was extremely productive. Yeah, Scotty, thanks. Or even just like a piece of trim maybe or something, stuff like that. Oh crap. No, I'm going to just glue stuff in this other book. I can't focus. Well, I'm sorry. The wrench is back. Oh, Lord. Oh, you're right, Laura. I forgot. Yeah, she changed her name. So Laura, yeah, Laura was supposed to be moderating. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me make sure I'm answering questions, all right? Are these what I call my small journals? Yeah, I would say these are small journals. I wouldn't call them minis necessarily. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks. Yeah, this is just what I do, to kind of get these to the point where I really enjoy like playing with them. You know what I mean? That's kind of just like the meat and potatoes. Oh, see, nice, Kathy. So you got your clusters decorated and stuff. Awesome. You're welcome, Elizabeth. Thanks for coming in and hanging out and for all of your support. It's been really cool and I appreciate it. Laura V is who I was talking to, Laura. Laura C. Yeah, LC. Sorry. Okay, Anne, yes, definitely Wednesday, okay? And maybe I'll have the rest of these, you know, kind of to this point or further, and then and maybe even the larger ones, and we could, like get some of them finished up together, okay? All right, you guys. Well, listen, I'm gonna go and figure out what we're gonna eat for dinner. And oh yeah, that's right, pizza. I forgot. See, I'm not even hungry anymore. But yeah, and I'm definitely gonna sleep tonight. I promise. In case anybody wants to know. All right. You guys take care, okay? Thanks for hanging out with me. Love you.